Hi everyone, my plan today is to show you the start to finish of how I made this card today. I used a new die from Memory Box. It's called the Oval Master Frame. It cuts all these pieces. So yeah, somehow you have to get these glued onto your card. Well, since I taught this on Saturday, I had the girls do one method, but since then I came up with something else, and I feel like this is easier, so I'm going to show it to you. Grab another piece of paper, and we're going to cut this out. Now I like to have the blades of the die up, and I hope you can see this. I like to angle the dies into the die cut machine. It's an old trick I learned from AccuCut, because then your lines aren't straight on those rollers in there, and it doesn't make that bump noise that you hear when they're straight and you're rolling it through. So we're going to stick this in here, and I'm going to tape it just because it's so close. It's a quarter piece of an 8.5 by 11 paper, so it's a standard A2 size. So we're going to die cut. I'm not shimming or anything. When you cut with the blades up, you get a really clean cut most of the time. And if I do need to shim, I can get by with just a piece of copy paper a lot of times. Okay, so there we have the pieces in the die. I don't need the oval this time, so I'm not going to worry about putting it back in there. I'm going to get this painter's tape out of the way. And I think I will go ahead and take that off of there, just in case it might try to peek through. Okay, so there we have the die cut. Now if you wanted to cut this in colors, I would cut it, say in your 1, 2, 3 colors, take them out and then set them back in there in the color order you want them. But since I just used white, I'm just going to leave it in there. It just fits great. And I'm going to take this double-sided score tape and I'm going to put it on the lines to hold those together, so that when I take them out of the die, except I'm not going to take them out of the die, I'm going to stick it directly to my card base while it's still in the die. I'll get these on here. I tried using 1/2 inch score tape, but it was just a little bit too wide. This is 1/4 inch. Of course, it takes a little longer then to put the smaller pieces on, but I like the result better. And that's important. When we're making cards, we want to be happy when we're done. And getting things, especially intricate dies, glued onto the card is challenging. Oh, there's that tape again. Saturday in class I had the gals use press and seal, but you had to put the press and seal on the back and then take it out of the die and then put the press and seal on the front and then put your adhesive on the back and then put it onto the card base. So this is quite a bit faster doing it this way. And the press and seal worked, but I wish I'd thought of this for them, so hopefully they'll watch this and I'm anxious to try using this die in colors. It's so elegant. And classy. Now, before we put that on the card base, we need to have our watercolor piece that I did ink smooshing on. I'm going to put some distressed ink, spritz it. Then you just use that. There it is, right in front of my face. Oh, the packaging you would normally throw away, and just smoosh it on there however you want. You can drag it. I'm sure you've already seen some of the gals doing it in videos. And I did blue and green, although I should say Mermaid Lagoon and Twisted Citron is what I used, and they really turned out fun. But you know what, I forgot to make a piece just for the video, so we're gonna have to use this one, so I'll have to finish it. Put some green on here. And then I'm going to glue the butterfly on top of that after it gets put back in this frame. So normally you would let this dry before you put your card together, but so much for my great plans. Okay, now where's my glue? There it is. So I'm going to put some glue on here because there's no tape on this one. And here's my card base. This is a top folding card, but it's still just an A2 size. I just like the top folding. It's easier to take pictures of. And then I'm just going to place this on here and line it up with that die. Press it on there. Now I can peel that out of there, and everything should stay right where I want it. Look at there. Probably got a little watercolor on it there. Yuck. Well, maybe that's just glue. You do want to be careful how you press because, well, actually, maybe you'd want to use your watercolor paper the whole size of your card so you don't get these lines if you push too hard. And you might want to put adhesive all the way around the oval. I was just hurrying for the video. So now we're going to glue that butterfly in there and glue on some pretty pink posh clear sequins. And the outside of the card is done anyway. I didn't put a sentiment on this card because I don't know, didn't think it needed it this time. I don't use a lot of glue, just put it in a few places, so I'm sure it will stay on there when it goes through the mail or goes into the envelope. And this butterfly that I'm using is the Bellina butterfly stem, and the frame is the oval master frame. The frame's from Memory Box, and the Bellina butterfly is from Poppystamps. So there you have it. And if you put some sequins on there, you get a little bling. Thanks for watching.